Hi there, I'm Rita Wilkins, also known as the Downsizing Designer. So it's Tuesday night and I always talk about something, downsizing, decluttering, or lifestyle. I'm going to be talking about live like a millionaire, how to live that minimalist lifestyle. So have you ever wondered why so many millionaires and billionaires choose to be minimalists? If you think about Warren Buffett, he lives in the same house that he bought in 1950 for $31,000. He also drives himself around in his old car. So he doesn't even own a cell phone. Then there's Steve Jobs, who created Apple. He didn't have time for clutter in his life. He was kind of one of those no-nonsense kind of guys who kept his life simple, so he had more time and space to think and to be creative. And then another one that comes to mind is Julia Roberts, known as Pretty Woman, who is obviously a beautiful woman, could have anything that she wants, grounded. So imagine, having that ability to have 3, 4, 5, 20, or $30 million mansions anywhere in the world that you wanted, filled with gorgeous designer furniture, one-of-a-kind pieces of artwork, designer clothes, and expensive cars. It all sounds so exciting, doesn't it? But along with all of that beautiful and endless amounts of stuff comes the stress of having to manage just too much. So where there may not be enough hours in the day to actually enjoy that life. So all that extra stuff creates extra stress, and some have even discovered that even though they can afford just about anything that they want, that owning less might actually allow them the space to enjoy their lives more. So rather than allowing their lives to spiral out of control and let stuff control their lives, they've made an intentional choice to live a simpler life with less clutter so they can be happier, more creative, more focused on what's more meaningful to them. It embraces simplicity. It's about reducing, provide value. And it's about making more room for what matters most to you. Now, many of you might be minimalists. You might be thinking about becoming minimalist down this path of when you own less, you actually have the ability to live more. So minimalism is about giving yourself that permission to slow down, to appreciate everything that you already have. It's about having enough, and it's about being enough. So there's no need to buy more to prove to yourself or to someone else your own worth. It's also, there's no desire to buy more. So because you're content and grateful for what you already do have. Now, I will tell you that I haven't reached that point yet, but I could feel it coming where I just don't go into stores just to shop. I'm a little bit more intentional about it. So minimalism is definitely individual, and it's also a journey. It takes time. So, but when you have no need to buy more to prove something, or when you just have no desire to buy more, you are starting to give yourself permission to just appreciate what you have. So this minimalist lifestyle also gives you freedom. There's not the same pressure to have to or should do things because you get to choose about how you spend your time and your money. And this minimalist lifestyle also gives you more time and money to live that more meaningful life because you have clarity about what matters most to you and what doesn't. And then actually live with less and be happy. So number one, you would start by asking yourself a couple of these questions. The first one is, why do you want to live with less? So it could be that, and this was my case, my life was spiraling out of control. I felt like all I did was, every single minute was taken up with managing a large property and a business, and everything was spiraling out of control. And I remember I wanted a simpler life with a lot less stress and time for actually living that life. A second question to ask yourself is, why do you want to make room Why do you want to make more room in your life? And, certainly more time, more money, more freedom to pursue those things that really do matter to you, more experiences, more fun, more travel. And what do you, and whom do you want to make more room for? Your spouse, your significant other, travel, building a business, whatever it is, if you find out why you want to live with less, what do you want to make more room for, and questions that you can start asking yourself in your life. And of course, I talk about this just about every week, whether it's one closet, one drawer, one experiencing the freedom of living like a minimalist with less. And the third thing, or fourth thing, I guess, is learning to let go. So remember, if everything matters, nothing matters. So when you learn to start letting go of the things that just don't matter to you anymore, you'll discover that time, money, and freedom and energy it's a gift that you can give yourself to what does matter. And number 5 is less is not nothing. So many people think that when you are a minimalist, you have nothing. And that's simply not true. Just so remember that you're the one that gets to decide what to keep, what to let go of. Nobody else is telling you. And just like millionaires and billionaires who actively choose to live that minimalist lifestyle, you can also choose to, even though having it all might sound like a wonderful life, having enough, being content, can actually lead to a much richer and more abundant life. Hope this helps. Have a good week, and I'll talk to you next Tuesday.